Hi there guys, I'm blind reaction of this My Little Midi Grimdark reading called Welcome to the Family. It is 24 minutes and 58 seconds long. Yes, welcome to the family. And not my family.
Seriously?
Thank you, Apple Bloom. I really needed that. You're blooming marvellous, aren't you?
Seriously?
I actually recorded Thomas's lines for this one. Let's see how scary it can be. I'm sorry, Blythe is going down the street. Yeah, right. Let's get this reaction started in 3, 2, 1, go. Sparrow presents. With spooky music.
It had been a trend for weeks. It had become as popular as the Ice Bucket Challenge. Taking high schools by storm to the point of where I couldn't go a single day without hearing about someone talking about the haunted survey. It had appeared on a website known as Equestria Daily.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if you were Brony or not, seeing that for some stupid reason, young adults seemed to get a thrill out of doing the latest trends.
It was part of the dark web.
It was all over the news. Young high school student disappears without a trace, or young high school student found dead in their bedroom.
Ooh,
yet everybody wanted to do it for a thrill. It's like they were just asking for a death wish. And sadly, that was the case with most of the found victims.
Yeah.
A large number of them were suicidal classmates of mine that I had caught slashing their wrists or overdosing in the boys' bathroom multiple times.
Ooh.
Most got their wish, and it quickly became an epidemic among my high school and many others within my area.
Yeah, epidemic.
I don't know why, but the local authorities seemed to not even care, and just brushed the whole issue aside like it was a fluke. After so long, I had gotten fed up with this epidemic. See, my only friends had gone missing as well, becoming victims of the survey.
How many
At the
victims
time, I
are
was
there?
not even a believer of such things as haunted surveys, and found it more stupid than anything that almost everybody had to say to risk their life for a thrill and a good scare. This new trend had become the Bloody Mary dare of the 21st century, and had grown to an uncontrollable rate.
Yeah.
Every teen or young adult just wanted to take the haunted survey on Equestria Daily.
Yeah.
Long story short, they were never seen again.
Never again.
On October 31st of 2016, the dare was even live streamed on YouTube by a YouTuber named Spawn2469 with over 400 watchers.
400.
Facecam was added to show reactions, but let's just say that the stream was cut short by the time they reached question number 3, but resumed when the survey ended and all that was left was a horribly murdered corpse of the YouTuber. Most of the watchers thought it was just special effects to add more of a scare, seeing it was Halloween. However, when the stream resumed, a large number of the watchers managed to hear a very mild whisper saying, "Are you enjoying the show?"
That
It was
is
enough
messed
for
up.
some to leave in fear, but some just took it as a prank, and the haunted survey continued to spread across the world like a fucking virus.
It's not.
Enough
Thing is,
was enough.
yeah, it was
And
not.
I said to myself that I could shut
It
this
was
trend
not a prank,
down.
though. It was not a
Seeing
prank.
at the time, I was also a hacker. You're probably thinking, oh, he's just one of those hackers that could probably do the most simplistic shit that any beginning first-rank hacker could do.
On
No.
a live Skype.
I was a high-end hacker, able to break through some of the most hardest codes and scripts of even the most secure sites. All I would have to do is hack the supposed haunted link, and use a termination code to completely destroy the survey altogether. It's kinda like creating a virus, only much more effective and restricted. You would think that I worked for the government with this kind of knowledge.
Reminds me of,
But nope.
ransomware.
I had been around computers for a long time, and had learned much about how websites work and their properties. All a website is composed of is commands, codes, and some form of security. Some security being easy to pass, while some others like
It's
Google
known as a
being heavily secure,
backdoor.
and there being multiple codes to break through to even get to the firewall. To terminate a site like Google would take someone of my level probably weeks.
Yeah.
But for sites such as Equestria Daily,
Ooh.
it wouldn't take any longer
No.
than 2 hours or even shorter. My mind was set. So on February 24th,
it's a CSS coding as well.
At 1:23 a.m., I gathered the needed requirements and logged onto my desktop. I wasted no time in going to Equestria Daily, which took no time seeing my desktop was built for high
And make sure
performance.
you don't see any spoilers.
However, as soon as I got to the site, I was immediately lost on where to even go next, seeing I wasn't even a fan of My Little Pony. All I knew about the topic was that it was composed of colorful horses who spread the magic of friendship across their land. And the only way I knew that much was because one of my now missing friends was a Brony.
Is it an admin on the site that put
going to the
link
most likely places
on the
that
site?
A haunted survey would be located, but I found nothing. However, I wasn't going to give up there, seeing I knew ways of finding possibly hidden links. This was where my hacking skills came into play, as I proceeded to opening up the page script and scrolled through, searching for the survey link, but still found nothing. This was common, so I just decided to look at one of the countless videos on YouTube of young adults and teens taking the survey as a guide.
The Matrix.
And was immediately confused when I saw that it was under a tab I had already checked prior to watching the video. I checked again just to be sure, and sure thing, nothing was there.
No.
And I didn't even resort to thinking that the link had been deleted, because I knew for a fact that it wasn't.
No.
That day at school, all the talk was about in the hallways was the haunted survey, and just how chilling and thrilling it was. I overlooked the video again.
I'm surprised
and
that
realized something very strange. The URL of the site was different from the one that I had in my URL bar.
It's known as the Onion site.
Right then, I should have backed out and realized that I was stepping into boundaries that were beyond my limits.
The dark webs.
But I wasn't stopping until that link was gone for good.
Is that Remedy?
Without a hint of any suspicion as to why the links were different, I backspaced the current URL and typed the URL in the video into my URL bar and hit my enter key on my keyboard.
You won't load.
It didn't even take a second for the screen to come up with the "this page does not exist" result.
Yeah, because it's dark webs only.
Confusing me. It existed in the video, so why didn't it exist now?
Because
the video was only a day old, so age was not an issue. So what was I doing wrong?
You need a different browser.
I decided to watch more additional videos of the same topic to see if there was any difference in them compared to the first one that I watched. There was indeed something strange, and it even sent a chill down my spine once I realized it. All the links to the page where the link to the survey was located on Equestria Daily and each individual video were completely different.
Is that Onion site?
In that moment, I was immediately confused, and should have just backed out.
It's the dark webs,
was
mate.
Still stronger. I came up with a solution considering how big the trend was. Perhaps the link had been shared to multiple pages, but it still didn't make any fucking sense that these pages didn't exist. I had tried every link, and every single one had that same exact result. Perhaps the government had decided to actually do something, and the pages were shut down?
No.
Nope, not even that was possible, because the page wouldn't come up with "this page does not exist" as the result.
No.
It would come up with an official government seal stating that it had been shut down due to a certain reason that violated the federal law.
Yeah, like the torrent files.
Nothing was making sense. And being as stubborn as I tried to find a solution. I even ran a scan on the page scripts with the result "this page does not exist" to make sure that the page itself might have been hidden. But in the end, the page scripts were natural. So how the hell did you actually get to the page with the survey link?
Choose a different browser.
I had no choice but to seek help from those who knew how to get the link. So I texted a fellow classmate who I knew would know more about this trend than I ever did. They had wanted to try the survey themselves, but were too scared to. Immediately, they questioned why I had interest, and I lied, telling them that I was just dared to do it.
Yeah, right.
It turned out that there was a logical reason the links were different in the videos that I watched.
Yeah.
You didn't just simply access the link through Equestria Daily.
No.
You had to go through an additional source, where it would give you a custom code that you would add on to the end of the link on the Equestria Daily page. And it would redirect you to the page with the link visible.
Onion. isn't
The
it?
additional source seemed like a very shady way of accessing a link, but my persistence made me blind to my suspicions that this was clearly a bad
Access to
idea.
the dark webs.
Stupidly, I asked for the link to the additional source, and my classmate
Why
sent
would
it.
you do that though?
I immediately recognized the link as a link you would normally use in the browser used to browse the dark net.
I've been saying that for the last 5
That
minutes.
made me swallow a little, seeing I was no stranger to the dark net. I had left the days of browsing those areas of the internet behind long ago.
Long ago.
Right there, I felt as if something
Where's
was
Twilight?
off, and I conflicted in continuing any further.
Twilight's missing.
After minutes of contemplation, I made probably the worst mistake of my life, proceeding to downloading the browser.
You're
Once it was
going to
downloaded,
die.
I immediately opened it, and with much caution, pasted the link my classmate had given me into the URL bar. The homepage redirected me to a pitch black page where what seemed like a closed briefcase manifested from the shadows. Above the briefcase, the words, "Do you wish to sell your soul to the doctor?" manifested shortly after in blood red text.
Back
Those
away.
words made me stop for a second, but foolishly, I clicked the yes option,
Oh, you
causing the
dumbass.
briefcase to open, where yet another set of disturbing words were revealed on the top half of the open
Twilight
briefcase.
just fell down.
The words, "Welcome to the family, here's your invitation," were written out in what seemed like
Blood.
blood. And just below was the custom code. Not thinking straight, I copied the code, returned to Equestria Daily, went to the URL bar, pasted the code onto the end of the page URL,
Okay.
and hit my enter key. Immediately, I was redirected to basically a copy of the previous page, only this time, the survey link was visible. Now, this was where I had to be careful, when in
Very
all reality, I should have just closed down everything and walked away, forgetting this ever happened.
Walk away.
It was already too late, as I clicked the link and was redirected to the survey screen.
Oh dear.
I didn't even bother reading anything and quickly opened up the page script to what seems like one of the most simple page scripts that I had ever seen.
Simple.
It was mainly text coding with redirect commands whenever an answer was given, which did not even surprise me, seeing in all reality, that's what this survey was.
To get free sample.
Or was it? Just being on the page gave me chills, knowing that this survey was the cause of many disappearances and the deaths of my fellow friends and classmates.
You dive through
But
the
I was more than
internet.
determined to bring this trend to an end.
How do you
Using
transform
simple
through
coding,
the internet
I easily
though?
got past the script, and within 5 minutes, passed each code on the page. Next came the firewall, which was probably going to be my biggest challenge.
That's gonna be hard.
But strangely enough, it was actually very simple to pass using a simple termination command. The security seemed like it was made by an amateur, being so easy to break and hack into. Now, I controlled the survey, and did not plan to spare it any mercy.
You control the survey, but the
Without any
survey controls you
hesitation,
though.
I imported the same termination code into the website's page script, and with a simple pound to my enter key, the page closed back to Equestria Daily. To double check if the page was terminated successfully, I clicked the link again, only for the result to be error 404, page not found, and nothing more. Exactly what I wanted to see. But this wasn't the only page that I needed to terminate, and I now understood why the page could have never simply been terminated. The links were all different, generated by the additional website. I returned to the page where the briefcase remained open with the code inside, and repeated the same process that I had with the survey page.
Yeah.
It took me only 10 minutes before the page met the same fate as the one it was linked to, closing back to the home page of the browser.
No.
I re-entered the link once again just to make sure, and became shocked at the result.
Blood.
The page was the same, pitch black with that same briefcase.
Because it's an onion
Only
site.
something was different.
What's different?
The letters above the briefcase no longer read, "Do you wish to sell your soul to the doctor?" Now they read, "You sold your soul. You are one of us now." I trembled, reading the words over and over.
You just
I
done
had
your...
clearly terminated the site, and was not going to be scared away so easily.
You just...
Maybe I had typed something wrong?
Sentenced yourself
Maybe I
to
had
death.
made a mistake. If only that were the case.
No.
To be sure, I repeated the process, opening the page script and proceeding to breaking through the script, codes, and firewall. I even made sure I typed everything right before once again importing the termination code and hitting enter.
You cannot stop it
Once
though.
again, the page closed back to the home screen of the browser. And to be sure, I entered the URL to the site, and once again, was completely dumbfounded by what I saw next.
What did you see? What did you saw?
The site was still there, still running, even after I had terminated it twice. Just as I was about to try
There's something
terminating
called
it again,
backups.
I noticed that the site had changed. Instead of a briefcase appearing, a closed door appeared in its place. The words, "Welcome home," appeared next,
Welcome
causing
home.
fear to creep down my spine and my heart to skip a beat. This had to be a joke, and my friend just
It's
gave me that
not
link to mess
a
with me,
joke.
right? That had to be it. This could not be possible.
You just sold
All my
yourself
hopes
to the devil.
dropped as I saw a chat window pop up in the corner of the screen.
Oh, chat.
Hello, Howard. Thank you for selling your soul. Please, enter.
What the fuck, dude? With the
Your family
echoes?
and friends await your arrival.
I didn't
What is that?
respond.
That's Twilight
I just
behind it.
attempted to get the fuck out of there while I still could. But no matter how
You're
many
trapped.
times I clicked the X in the upper right corner of the browser window, I could not get out.
Looks like Twilight's fucking
Panicking,
Applejack.
I proceeded to attempt a force close on the browser, opening the page script again and doing what I had to do to get out. I entered the command to force close the browser, but nothing happened.
It's a
Fear and
Doctor
panic immediately
Rainbow-
took hold
it's a
as I
Doctor
resorted
Twilight
to my
Sparkle
last option
in
and
disguise.
rushed to unplug the power plug from the wall.
That's not.
With
That's
one
not.
tug,
that's-
the power plug was pulled, but the computer remained on, and a plague of pure fear took hold of my
You sure it's
mind.
not a laptop?
I had tried everything, but I was trapped.
Burn
I
it!
rushed to find a way out of this, but out of my struggles, another message was sent.
Ooh, what was that?
The only way out is to go home, Howard. The answers you seek on where your friends and classmates disappeared to lie just beyond this door. They are all waiting. Join us, Howard. Join us.
That was spooky.
I didn't believe a word the
I should know
anonymous
because I
user was
fucking
saying,
recorded it.
and listened to my instincts,
Oh, I'm the
standing
voice
up from the
director,
computer
should
chair
say.
and running to my door. I had to get out. I just had to get out.
You're
I had
trapped.
to run as fast as I possibly could
You're
from here,
trapped.
get help, and attempt to forget
You're
this.
fucking trapped.
Get out was all my mind was telling me, and just as I was about to turn the door handle, I stopped. With one glance back at the computer screen, I saw that the door on the screen was an exact copy of the door I now stood before. From the speakers of the computer came the endless notification sounds, all saying the same thing over and over. Join us.
Join us.
I now knew if I opened that door, I would enter the home this anonymous user was speaking of.
Now you have
I
died.
wasn't going to become a victim and become a part of what I knew now was a trap.
You're already a
I looked around
victim.
for any other
And you
exit
already are
and quickly
trapped.
saw the window. Without hesitation, I quickly ran to the window, opened it with no struggles, while behind me my phone rang. But I wasn't taking any chances. I crawled through the opening, fell into the shrubs my dad had planted years ago, while from the bedroom, I swore I could hear muffled voices from the computer and cell phone yelling those two words over and over. I recognized some of them as my friends' voices, but I didn't listen and darted down the street as fast as my legs could go. It was cold, but I did not even care as I darted to the nearest police station. Now, of course I didn't tell the police the truth.
Why?
They would have thought I was fucking crazy, nor did they even fucking care. They had gotten so used to teens coming into the station and calling them with bizarre stories about the survey. So I'm sure a story about a computer being controlled by some anonymous user on the dark net would concern them at all. Eventually, I had to return home.
Yeah.
But I never returned. And to keep my family and I safe, burned the house to the ground.
That's what I've been
saying! I was
saying!
never taking a chance of entering that house
But
ever
I think
again.
you're still trapped though.
Not knowing if that computer was still on, that the user was still there waiting for me to return, so they could take me home. I have never told my parents of that night, nor the true reasoning of why I burned the house down. After I confessed to burning down the house, I was put into my local detention center, up until I was too old to be considered a juvenile. I never cared that I was even put into a detention center, and found it even more of a relief.
Wouldn't it be,
No computers or phones were allowed.
That's good.
So I didn't have to worry about going home. At least, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Until I received an unexpected visit from some doctor named Dr. Malconton. At first, I thought he was just my regular therapist, up until he stated something that made my blood
psychiatrist. The killer.
You will never escape, Howard. You will return home someday and join the family you gave your soul for. We're still waiting.
Waiting.
And no matter how long it takes, we will be waiting for you on the other side of the door. Come home soon, Howard.
That was when I knew. All along, when I thought that I had escaped, I had only given myself false hope, and that the moment I clicked yes for the code to the survey link,
you're still trapped.
I was immediately trapped. There truly was no escape, and once you click, you're dead.
You're dead for good.
While I may have destroyed the survey, I had opened a new door. Eventually,
a new back door.
Everyone, even you, will come home.
No fucking way!
The beginning. Now, a new trend has begun. An anonymous door that you open, where you meet the Doctor.
And not Dr. Colstein.
Do not be alarmed. He is only here to help you. He is only here to change you. He is only here to make you part of the family. All along, I was afraid to go home. But now I'm here with my loved ones. My friends and my mom and dad that I burned to death in the fire. Well, I can't seem to find some of my friends that went missing.
Are you being controlled now?
I've made some new friends here. If you are a brony, you'd refer to them as the main six.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they remind me very much of my friends that I can't find. It's almost as if... Wait a minute.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. Help me! Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
No.
Help me.
I can't.
Help me.
You're dead, mate! Bye-bye, you've been chopped off. Bye!
Please forgive Mr. Howard for his sudden outbursts. I swore that I gave him enough serum to make him forget, but apparently I'll have to double his dosage. Forget all that Mr. Howard has told you here. He is quite delusional, and he's been experiencing relapses ever since he joined us here. But we're all working on fixing that issue.
How?
Take it from me, a doctor of high training, that everything you just
I don't trust this fucking
nothing but lies, and make you believe that I'm a crazy doctor who turns
you sound
humans
fucking
into
crazy!
things. So, sir, or madam, please do click onto the next video.
No.
Or if you're reading this, the next story. Mr. Sparrow would appreciate it.
I'll be quiet,
Warm
Sparrow.
regards, Dr. Malkinton.
Malkinton, you fuck off.
P.S. Don't forget to come home soon. We are all here, waiting for you.
Go the
We
fuck.
will always be waiting.
Oh my god, just go away already. Things in my ears now. No, yeah, left ear. Okay. After that reading, I'm not going to open that fucking door in case a fucking doctor comes through the fucking door. If you understand what I fucking mean. Okay, that was Welcome to the Family. Grimdark reading. Basically, you got killed at the end. Ugh. It didn't help at the end adding the actual echoes for the doctor. It sounded much more sinister and creepy. You can tell it's not right in the head. He's got a loose bolt in his ears or head. Okay, because I actually recorded Thomas's lines, and that took a bit of takes. And when it's a dark webs, it's known as an onion site. At least it'd be something .onion, and that will. But you need a special browser for that. You need a special browser to access a dark web. And just by thinking about this, I know it's not true, but back in the mind, I have to say this. Technically, in the show, it could exist because strange things happens around this neighborhood. You're gonna call Ghostbusters.
Seriously?
Oh god, Ghostbusters! Yeah, the police couldn't do anything. It's like, how can you track down the dark web? Because it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
Seriously?
It's not, sorry, Apple Bloom. It's not an easy thing. And you think you're taking down the website, but if you've got backups, if you've got log files, you can have the site back up again. But the thing is now, is there a true way to stop the survey? I'm being cool now. Is there a true way to stop the survey? Or is it still on the dark webs, waiting for an unwitting soul to click? And if you do click it, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. You have died of suffocation. You might get a phone call from Twilight Sparkle, acting sexy, if you understand my way of thinking. I'm going to leave a little survey at the end. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that, because it might end up being true. Well, hopefully you like this reaction or my reaction videos I do, and I will see you next time. Oh, yes.
And